favorite to win the title next year. I may pick them, but this is the longest drought of repeat champions in NBA history. So do you like this era of parity in the NBA?
I do, and I don't. I do because it definitely creates intrigue and drama. Like, I mean, it's great to have 9, 10 contenders. Like, that really is good. I do like that. But I don't, and I brought this up with you guys last week, and I said, it was off the air. I said, does a ring mean as much when everybody's kind of getting one? Like in the 80s, when Isaiah Thomas finally got over the hump in the late 80s, it was so big because Magic and Bird were winning all the championships. When Jordan, in the 90s, you had Jordan winning them all, and then Olajuwon
right,
won
those
a couple.
two for Hakeem, because it felt like those two were available.
These are the only ones we can get because Jordan's taking all of them. Then Duncan and Shaq and Kobe, and then LeBron, Steph and go. I mean, in those years, it felt like, my goodness, how hard it is to get a ring. And now, these guys are great. But Kawhi's led a team to a ring. Giannis led a team to a ring. Jokic led a team to a ring. Shai's leading a team to a ring. Tatum and Brown leading a team. Like, everybody's getting them. And so I don't want to diminish it at all, but it just does feel like when there's a dynasty in place, it's like,
so I miss
how are we going to get over the hump and beat this team? And so I think that there's something to that.
But in a weird way, it might make one less noteworthy to a degree, but two more.
That makes sense.
Like in an era where none of these guys got their second. And I wish I could credit it, but I don't remember who wrote it. I was scrolling Twitter and I saw something. I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. This is very simplistic, but they were like, as time has gone on in the 80-year history of the NBA, the ceiling on how many rings you can get seems to be dwindling. So, like, right when the league basically gets going, Bill Russell, it's like, hey, I can win 11. And then we went a long time, and Kareem won 6, Jordan won 6. Then in the next era, the two best guys, Kobe and Duncan, a lot of people feel two best guys, both won 5. And this next era, the two best guys, LeBron and Steph, they both won 4. And like as the league, as it gets deeper and harder and all of this, is it like, we all agreed no one's going to get to 11. Is it also that, like, is 3 going to be the new 5? You know what I mean? That like for this next era, if no.
Well, when the Lakers repeated in 87, 88, that was a big deal because it was the first time in 20 years anybody. But I do.
Then
the 70s was in.
70s was weird, but it was also there were 2 leagues going on. The 70s. So, but that I'm glad you mentioned it because my gut is it's not great because it reminds me of the 70s. And you can ask 100 NBA fans that are all 100 years old and ask them, what's your favorite era or favorite decade? And no one's picking the 70s. Like, some people might say the 60s with Wilt Russell. A lot of people say the 80s, 90s with Jordan. And I wonder if, because I feel like there's not a lot of people who right now are my age, 40. It's like, hey, what's been your favorite era? They're going to say the 2020s. Because it does feel like this is a league where you want a monolith or two that it not only they are chasing historical greatness, but toppling them makes you a historical great. You know what I mean? And so
it's like getting past Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That will when somebody does it again, it'll feel like a huge accomplishment in the AFC.
In the AFC, right? If one of the so the question.
The Eagles did it.
Okay.
You're right. They did. And it was a great accomplishment.
At the end of the game.
Okay. This guy. I'm gonna stab you. But so I just, and I think I don't know how you feel. Wilds, you're such a jerk. But I do want someone to take control.
Yeah.
And Joker and Giannis are running out of time to do it. Like, if they're, I know that sounds weird because they're both early 30s, but like, neither one of us think those two teams are positioned incredibly well next year. And then, so like, and Wemby feels like he's a ways away.
Yeah, they're not winning.
You know what I mean? Like, and so is it maybe it'll be these guys. Maybe it'll be these guys a la, and I think Bru's example's right. And I think people look at Bru's right. Duncan won 5 in 14 years, or is that what 15 years. I think the better way to look at it is they won 4 in 9. You know what I mean? Because they had the big gap on the end. Yeah. But there was from 99 to 07, there were 9 championships.
But you also had the Shaq Kobe.
And the Shaq Kobe, right? But so like that era. You're right. There was kind of 2 monoliths in there.
Well, and this is where, and last week was the big talk about ring culture. This is where it comes in. Like if Jokic finishes and Giannis finishes with 1 ring, we're not putting them on the level of the guys that have 3 and 4 and 5.
So no, but if they get 2
I don't care
in
what
an
their
era when
stats
no
are.
one, but I guess my question is,
what
if they both finish with 2 and no one from that
but
era gets
I don't think
more?
that era, but that just says they weren't as dominant in their era as these guys that we put on the ultimate pedestal.
Is this an issue that parity has been designed into the league?
Yeah.
Where, like, I know when we go through, if you did your history thing, like, there weren't significant obstacles in the way. In fact, there used to not be. It used to be like, you have to be, like, stuck with your team. So this is an era designed for parity. I think some of the individual ownership groups like it. I'm worried about, and this is what I've accused Denver of doing, fairly or unfairly. We got one. That's good. Let's try to get another one. But let's not go to the mattresses to get one. We got one. That was good. That was good.
And that, by the way, KW, is part of the reason I pump the brakes on OKC being a dynasty. I believe in Sam Presti, obviously, but I also think it's on the board that some team buys Sam Presti away. I also think
that would really hurt.
Yes, yeah, and I think
that'd be the Lakers.
Or the Lakers under their new ownership. And I also think it's very on the board that the Oklahoma City ownership is like, listen, we fully support you in everything you're doing, but we're not gonna, we're Oklahoma City. We're not gonna be like deep into the luxury tax. Like, you know what I mean? Like you know what, Sam, you proved you could do it. We believe in you so much, and so that's a real, and
you'll know it if they don't bring back these 3 guys and max them. They're gonna have to
Well, I think they are definitely bringing them back and maxing them. The question is, are they doing that to then at some point sell off? You know what I mean?
You mean those? Yeah, if they keep these 3, their big 3, and Presti, then I think they can.
But no, it's when Lou Dort leaves for an extra.
Lou Dort was he's great. He was undrafted. They can find a Lou Dort.
I don't.
There's a history of guys. Bruce Bowen. There's a history of guys.
But isn't that kind of what Denver thought they could do?
Lou Dort was
Denver
Bruce
thought
Brown.
they could find a KCP.
Yes.
Denver thought they could find.
They didn't have a big 3 though. Denver that was young and all improving.
It's like it's Caruso and the Lakers.
Yes.
Like once Caruso left, it's like
Also I'm telling you, this is what I say to these if we have time. I've talked to players in the league about this. If you're like you're not a star, random guy, maybe you're undrafted, find your niche. And if it's defense, if it's rebounding, be the best defender you can be so you make yourself, okay, now I've got a place in the league. Then add the corner 3 or something like that. There's a host of guys throughout the league history who have done that. P.J. Tucker's another one. So they can find, as great as Dort is defensively, they can find that type of guy.
I like
especially Presti.
I agree with your general sentiment. I think Dort had an argument he was the best defensive player in the league this year.
Excellent. Bowen was always like that in that argument.
Hit threes. Oh, Lou Dort was amazing.